This is Tom Painter. Thank you so much for joining with us. As you know, my wife and I are the co-founders of the successandmoneyfoundation.org. We're a nonprofit educational foundation. We teach kids, teens, young adults, and adults about success and money. Well, because you're probably not learning it in school. And if you are learning it in school, we're a wonderful platform to be able to help you do more and incredible things. As you know, our purpose is to be able to provide free success and money classes for anyone, anywhere. That is our purpose. And right now we have many of our classes in multiple languages. In fact, we have the ability to go into about 30 different languages where you can hear it in English and then see the transcription in different languages. The top 10, many of our classes, we have those in the top 10 languages. And so we're very excited to be with you today. Again, you know what our mission is. We have three specific missions. Mission number one is to provide scholarships and financial rewards for our students when they attend class, and more importantly, when they share the wealth and teach other people the simple financial basics that they need to know to be able to help them have a better life. That's mission number one. Mission number two is we provide a platform and donations to schools, churches, charities, groups, and teams where people can go through classes together in a fun, competitive way. And as they do that, they learn, because the only way that we can really, truly change a person's life is with education, with knowledge, and more importantly, with experience. And so we study successful people, and then we do what they do. And our mission number three is to help those in need. So for every hour that you're in class, the donation is either going to donate a pair of eyeglasses, we're going to feed someone, or we're going to provide some clean water. And today I'm so excited to be able to introduce to you two wonderful guests that we have online with us that are making a major, major difference, with people all around the world as well as locally. And so we have Ray Goodson that is here with us. He's the founder of the Rise and Rebuild Foundation, and they do a lot of charity work. They help a lot of people, and they do a massive amount of teaching people how to start little businesses, become successful with those businesses, and then, of course, feeding those people. And mission number three is that we're a big supporter of that organization, as well as many, many different organizations. I also have my good friend, Boyd Blake, who just happens to be out in the Philippines doing some work with a wonderful organization called doTERRA. Many of you know of that organization. They're worldwide. They teach entrepreneurship. They teach people how to improve their lives. And so they are both online with us, and I'm so happy to invite them and welcome them and get kind of an update on what's going on with Rise and Rebuild, as well as some of the wonderful things that doTERRA does, because they have a massive charitable arm. So welcome, gentlemen. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Tom. It's great to be with you.
We're looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's what a treat. I would not have thought a week ago that I'd be sitting here in the Philippines with my new friend, and that we would have you as a common friend, and more importantly, the thing that's in common of helping others and trying to do good. It's a treat.
Well, I'm so excited that you guys are there. And just as a little background with Boyd and myself, we've served together in a church calling. It's a pretty good sized church calling. I'm just kind of the executive secretary that tries to keep up with these guys. But it was so funny because I got a text the other day that you talk about a small world, and my good friend Boyd is out there meeting with Ray and helping them so that they can make their system even better. So Ray and Boyd, bring us up to speed on what's going on with Rise and Rebuild.
Yeah, well, let me just maybe share from my experience. I was invited. I'm here traveling with my brother and sister-in-law. My wife Tamla and I are here, and we were invited to come and see and learn about Rise and Rebuild. My brother-in-law's father was a missionary companion with Ray, I think 100 years ago,
right,
in Hong Kong, and they have strong family ties. And I had some work with doTERRA in Taiwan and was able to join. We have spent the last 3 days at two of their Rise and Rebuild farms, gardens. That they, how many gardens, Ray? 5?
No.
5 gardens throughout the country, but just learning about the foundation, and my wife and I have been able to tour, see the operations, see the impact that that this foundation has created and is growing. The food from those farms is sent to schools and used to feed malnourished children. This morning, we were privileged to be at one of the schools during feeding time. It was life-changing to be able to see those kids, the smiles on their faces. It was incredible. And to see the impact that I think that started 13, 14 years ago through Ray and his wife, street wife Debbie, that they've done, and the impact they've had on so many lives in terms of their employees and kind of boots on the ground here, but the communities, the children, they're making a difference. And it's just been a real blessing in my life and my wife's life to be able to learn. And as I tease Ray, I've spent 10 hours in a car with him the last 3 days, traveling all over the country. And I didn't know what a blessing that would be for me. And maybe, Tom, just to share a little bit, back with you, we were in a meeting 2 days ago, and the plaques of, we were in Lukebon, and the plaques had been completed and were brought into the room, and there was you and your foundation's name on it. And I turned to Ray and said, "How do you know Tom Painter?" And so that's how we made that connection, and what a fun one it's been. So that's what I've been doing this week, and what a treat for me to be with Ray and learn more about the incredible work that's happening here.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. When I think about Ray and what he does, it takes me back to the scriptures, Matthew 25:40 about helping those in need and people that need the real help. And of course, when Jesus was on the earth, he did incredible miracles. Well, we do small miracles, and we do them in a different way. He healed the people that were blind. Well, what we do is we give them a pair of eyeglasses, or we do cataract surgeries with them. Ray has figured out, along with many other organizations, how to be able to take an individual and help them find a career. Once they do that, they can start learning about entrepreneurship. They can learn about how to make money. They learn how to be able to feed their family. And that's really what Matthew 25:40 talks about, is us taking it in a very different way and helping those people in need. So Ray, I'd love to bring you back out and have you talk and give us a little bit more of an update on what's happening with Rise and Rebuild as well.
Well, we're just beginning an operation on Negros. Negros is an area that is severely economically handicapped. The sugar industry has just closed down there. And so unemployment is just off the charts. So we're moving in there in a major way. We'll bring 500 jobs to that area. And what I like after we create a job is those people who go to work for us, suddenly their children are going to college. Mm-hmm. And their employment with us allows them to live on a different standard. And we don't pay a lot, but having steady income makes a big difference in the lives of the people that work for us. We provide them with bonuses every once in a while. And I was telling Boyd, when we declare a bonus, 30 new motor scooters show up at the farm, because once they have their food covered and their schooling covered, the next thing is their transportation. And so they go and buy one of these little motor scooters that are a little bit like a disease. I mean, they just run all over. But when one of the church leaders tells you that only 2 people in his area have jobs, you know that they need Rise and Rebuild to come in and change the status of many people. And that's what we got going now.
Well, what's amazing for many of you around the world that are just tuning in, we've got our good friend Ray Goodson and Boyd Blake with us this morning. And, we're talking about how do you change an individual's life? And, the real key, the one thing that I've learned as I've traveled all over the world and worked with all kinds of people in many different countries, the one couple things that I know is that parents love their children and they want their children to have a better life, no matter where they're at. Every parent loves their children and want to give them a better life. In order to do that, though, many of them need new opportunities. They need to learn the techniques. They need to learn the strategies. They need to have an opportunity to be able to be mentored by someone. And that's what Ray's organization does so well. So they have these wonderful farms or gardens that they have. They bring people in, they teach them how to work. They teach them how to live off the land, how to be able to feed their families. Now, the one thing that is amazing is that once that happens, the children are the real benefactors of it. The one thing that I've noticed is that around the world, in many places around the world, you have to fight to get your kids in school. You have to fight to get them into some kind of a school and to do things. And as we create these small businesses around the world, the one thing that happens is that the parents, and especially the moms, and that's why we have so many moms have memberships into the foundation, is that they take that extra money and that extra energy and they improve the home. They take that money and they improve the nutrition. They get the kids into school. In America, if you don't go to school, they come look for you. Around the world, they don't come look for you. You have to fight to get your kids into school to give them a better life. And that's why I'm so happy and so excited about what Ray's doing with the Rise and Rebuild, because not only do they bring people in and teach them a skill, they give them mentoring. They help them learn how to be more successful, how to take care of their family. And once they've learned that skill, they can take that skill and take that out into the marketplace and continue to move forward. Also, in addition to that, they take the products that they create and they do a lot of wonderful things with food, as well as manufacturing with things like bricks. And so they take those products and they help their individual employees and students and the people around them use those products to feed their family as well as to build their own home. Then they take the additional products, which are, the vegetables and things that they grow are some of the best in the region. They take those and they take those to market. They sell that product, and with that product, they're able to pay for a lot of the overhead. So it's a wonderful cycle that they're doing, and they're teaching people and being mentors so that people are getting the system. And once they get that system, once they understand the system, then they can go out and do that for themselves. Ray, I'm going to turn it back to you and Boyd for a minute and continue to tell us more about what's going on.
Well, I think the thing that is satisfying from our standpoint is we start feeding these malnourished children. We feed them for 80 days. At the end of 80 days, they're no longer malnourished. And we also feed the mothers. And we have a 10-lesson educational program that we teach them about nutrition. We teach them about washing your hands before you eat, all the simple things that we don't even worry about in the States anymore. But this is a third world country. But people are so anxious to be involved in being able, like you said, to change the status of those children. We feed the up to 5-year-old in the neighborhood. And after the neighborhood, then we start feeding them in the schools. And we get everybody involved. We get the mayor involved. We get the PTA involved. We get everybody we can involved, because this isn't a one-man band over here. In my mind, it's a one-man band, but we have 500 people that work for us and carry out the desires of our foundation, which we hope by the end of next year, we'll be feeding 200,000 children every day.
Wow. That is just an amazing number. Now, not only do you do an amazing job with feeding these children, but you also have another venture, which is in the brick building business, which teaches people a trade, as well as provide some income to be able to pay for the workers and to make a huge difference. Tell us a little bit more about that, would you please?
Well, it's a good time to bring you up to speed on the brick making, because we have just designed a new brick that is a commercial brick. It is bigger. We are now applying for a patent on this new brick, but it will allow us to build commercially with our new brick. It will allow us to employ people, because by using these bricks, they become entirely different in the sense that doesn't take mortar. It reduces your construction cost by 45%, and they are beautiful bricks. I mean, we're sitting in front of some of them, but those are the old design. The new design, which we purchased the property on Negros, and we will bring a lot of employment to Negros where they need it so badly, because these blocks they sell themselves, so to speak, because when you can cut your building costs in half, that's not a very big step to start buying these bricks of ours.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Now, you were talking about one of the newest locations that you're working on.
Yep.
Tell us more about that. Do you have a new school that you're working on as well? And also, I know you do a lot of stuff with water and wells.
We do. We drill potable water wells. The thing that is exciting about the new location is how badly they need the help, and we're going there to provide it. And it's interesting that we have several of our friends that are very interested in helping in that region. But from that area, we'll be able to reach out in that community. Right now, there are 50,000 malnourished children. In the next little town, there are 25,000 malnourished children. We are putting a garden together that is big enough to feed 75,000 children every day. And so that will bring us up. But the way we're going to support that is our brick sales are all headed toward the supporting of our nutritional program.
Are you going to be building a couple new kitchens in that neighborhood, in that area?
We're going to build a lot of things. We're going to start building starter chapels for the church. Okay. And that's going to be a nice effort.
Well, one of the wonderful things that we do at our foundation is that we are a big supporter of Rise and Rebuild. And Ray, I want to support you with 2 more nutritional centers.
I can handle that. We were at one today.
So we're as part of the foundation's job. We'd love to support you on a couple more nutritional centers. I'm sure you've got some wonderful places to be able to put it. So I'm so proud of what you guys are doing.
Okay, I'm off and running on 2 new nutrition centers.
Okay, well, that will be awesome. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you want to tell our group that you'd like to get into more detail on?
Well, I think that we see it growing pretty dramatically right now. We're in a very we're in a very aggressive growth mode right now. As you know, our foundation this year, just in operating costs, will spend in excess of $2 million. And the new garden in Negros will cost $1 million just in operating expenses. So I've got to go home and find some more of my friends with deep pockets. I joked with you about, amongst my friends, they all say it's getting very expensive to be Ray's friend.
No, it's not expensive at all. Our the real goal is just to be able to take the money that you've made and do good with it. The one thing I've learned in business is that the best business people to work with are the ones that are the most charitable. When we teach our 5 steps to financial freedom, number 1 is you got to teach them how to make more money. And you're doing all of these. Number 1, you got to teach them how to make more money. The way you do that, you need to learn new skills. Number 2, you separate it into 3 groups. Number 3 is you got to give some of it away. You got to give it away to churches, charities, and individuals that need it. Number 4 is you automatically invest. We need to start thinking about long-term and future. And of course, number 5 is to save and spend. Well, you're doing all of those things in a very massive way. And so that's why I love your system so much, because you are making a huge difference. And the best part about it is that these organizations that you create, these farms, these gardens, these brick systems and stuff like that, pay for themselves. They employ a lot of people. They train people. They teach people about work. You teach them about long term. You teach them about saving for the future and to be able to invest in the future. And the best part is that it's making a huge difference in the next level, into their kids and their grandkids. And that is what is so exciting about what you guys are doing.
Well, Tom, we'll get together when we get back. And by that time, Boyd would have had a chance to go to doTERRA and tell them how bad they want to help us too.
Well, I think that's a good thing. And never be bashful to ask your friends for help, because honestly, that's, the people that are successful. The one thing that I have learned is that the very successful people, they want to give. It's a spiritual law, but it's also a good business law. When you give and you help other people, it just naturally comes back to you. It's just natural. It just happens. If you help solve other people's problems, if you help them get what they want, Zig Ziglar said it best. The only way you get what you want out of life is to help other people get what they want out of life. And that's exactly what you're doing, Ray. And I'm just so happy and so excited to be working with you. Boyd, what are the other things that you are taking away from seeing this incredible operation?
Yeah, I'll share a little experience today that I think has its fingerprints everywhere. Everywhere I've gone the last 3 days, the word healing has been used, and it comes, and it's kind of weighed on my heart. I've seen, again, the little children being fed healing. The mothers, the PTA mothers today, as I wash dishes with them, the spirit that they have in their hearts in terms of the healing in their homes. The workers, as you said, there's one of my new friends, 28 years old, has two young children, lots of responsibility. This organization, his words, they've healed me through times of depression and discouragement, and allowed me to find myself and have a lot of confidence in what I'm doing. And so, Tom, when we're doing good, when good is happening, we tie it back. That's the Savior's admonition to all of us, and he is the master healer. And as we come to him, and as we bring others to him, and as we do what he would have us do, healing is what happens. And that's what I will take home from this trip, and try to continue to incorporate in all that I do.
Well, it's amazing work that both of you are engaged in. This is why I love hanging out with successful people, because they want to give back. And as they give back, it makes their life. Tony Robbins was famous for saying that the secret to living is giving. And that's exactly what these guys are doing, is that they're giving. And as you give, you get. As you get more, you give more. And that is what makes a difference in your life. They say that when you die, that your whole life passes before your eyes. Well, actually, what happens is you pull out your phone and you look at your pictures. And if your pictures are good pictures of doing good things, then you've lived a successful life. And that's exactly, I can guarantee you, if Ray ever pulls out his pictures and looks at all these wonderful programs that he's created, and all these mouths that he's fed, and all these people's lives that he's changed, he's living a wonderful life, and Boyd as well. Well, I'm so grateful for you guys. And again, the foundation is in your corner. We want to continue to help you financially. One of the reasons that we created the foundation was to be able to bring success programs, teaching people the simplicity of money and success, so that they can incorporate that into their lives, and more importantly, incorporate it into their families' lives, their kids' lives. Because the real benefactors of all the things that we do is not just the parents, it's really for the kids. The goal is to teach them how to be able to do things. They say, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish and give him a fishing pole, or sell him a fishing pole, you can feed him for a lifetime. But if you teach him how to teach, you can change a generation. And that's exactly the purpose of the foundation. And that's exactly the purposes of Rise and Rebuild and so many wonderful organizations around the world. So I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for being on. We're going to say goodbye to our friends from around the world. We're going to come right back where we've got a couple more segments we're going to be talking about with Daryl Messina is going to be up there. And I'm going to get into more details about getting into your first home, because many of you, as we've done our research, one of the things that you need to do is you need to be able to start investing and getting into your own home, starting your own businesses, and providing a better life for you and your friends. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody around the world. We'll be right back.